Okay, let's move on and get a little more serious. By now, you've probably heard the new political group called People for Portland. They've been running a bunch of ads on TV and online, pushing our elected leaders to do more about things like homelessness and gun violence. The big question is, are their tactics working? Kyle Aboshi looked into that.
Portland is still full of potential, but politicians are doing too little, too slowly to rescue our broken city.
You've probably seen their ads on TV.
This is not the end of Portland.
Or maybe the internet.
It could be if we don't do anything about it.
The political group behind this media blitz, People for Portland, is pushing elected leaders to move faster on the city's most glaring issues like homelessness and gun violence. The campaign, which includes public polling and a slew of advertising, urges voters to contact their elected leaders and press them to act. So is it working? To find out, we asked City Hall for a breakdown of emails in the 2 months before and then after the campaign launched in mid-August. The results? People for Portland has clearly flooded the inboxes of city leaders. For example, Commissioner Carmen Rubio got 3,800 emails before the campaign started running ads. After, she got 15,000 messages. Commissioner Mingus Mapps had similar feedback. His inbox jumped from 3,000 emails to 19,000.
No question, it's that if you're on the receiving end of lots of the emails, you're going to say, oh, okay, that probably is an issue. But
KGW political analyst Len Bergstein says grassroots campaigns are nothing new in Oregon. The state has a long tradition of political activism. But the People for Portland campaign is different for a couple of reasons, including funding and strategy. Instead of attacking a particular candidate or ballot initiative, People for Portland is appealing to local voters to press their elected leaders to take action.
It's a citywide problem that demands action from City Hall.
to their credit, they have injected urgency, I think, into local government decision making. You can't hear a public official nowadays speak about this without saying we have to come up with an urgent solution to that.
We identify it as being urgent issues. There's a sense of urgency to this.
Take a moment to address the urgent crisis on our streets.
Communities demanding urgency around this.
This week, Portland Mayor Ted Wheeler even participated in a People for Portland town hall meeting.
I support this effort of putting pressure on elected officials.
This campaign also stands out because of its funding, so-called dark money. We don't know who's paying for the multi-million-dollar campaign, which is legal under campaign finance rules because People for Portland is set up as a political nonprofit. The two longtime consultants running the campaign, Dan Levy and Ken Looper, previously explained, People for Portland is legally organized, like many other issue advocacy groups, including Planned Parenthood and Basic Rights Oregon, for the purpose of amplifying the voices of others. Just as donors to those other 501c4 organizations are anonymous, so are the donors to People for Portland. Donors don't deserve to be targeted personally for public speech.
Well, what's so bad about that? Well, it really does undermine, I think, the rules of the game. And it tends to, I think, really erode some of the integrity of the process and maybe public confidence in it.
Local leaders say they're already working to try and solve the problems raised by the People for Portland campaign, like police reform, cleanup, and homeless encampments.
They have certainly put the spotlight on these issues. They've certainly put a lot of pressure on local elected officials, and I would expect them to continue to do so.
In a statement, Commissioner Mapp said People for Portland is a symptom of the frustration, not the cause. This group seems intent on informing decision makers that the majority of Portlanders want an immediate course correction. Commissioner Rubio added, I agree with Portlanders who share these goals and feel we need to be doing more faster. Commissioner Joanne Hardesty said, I want Portlanders to know these are the priority issues I've been addressing, and I am committed to continuing this work every single day. A spokesperson for Commissioner Dan Ryan explained, Commissioner Ryan is not surprised by the People for Portland campaign overall. Their agenda calls for work that Commissioner Ryan and Portland City Council are already doing. People for Portland says it wants local leaders to move more quickly. And based on the number of emails already sent to City Hall, tens of thousands of local voters agree. They're frustrated and want action.
Kyle Aboshi joins us now. So, Kyle, a lot of people kind of freaked out because they don't know where this money's coming from. Is there any way to track it?
We really don't know who's backing this financially. That remains a mystery, but we are getting a better sense of how much money is being spent. Like all lobbyists, this group has to file with the City of Portland and the City Auditor's Office. And today they filed a report for this quarter. So that's through the month of September. We found they spent about $500,000. Now, we don't know exactly where that money went. We have a rough idea, a lot of advertising, which we see. Those are on the big billboards around town, on the internet, on TV, that type of thing.
And we know the message is getting through. The mayor is hearing it.
They definitely are.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate your reporting. Laurel Porter talked to People for Portland's founders on this week's episode of Straight Talk. She pushed them on some of those dark money questions.
Is this a way for secret, private interests to push their agenda?
No, the agenda we push is right online, and we show that it's got all of the agenda items have 75% of public support. There's nothing here that's any different than any other advocacy group that you know about, environmentalists, choice groups. None of them divulge their donors. And there's a reason for it, which is that we have the right to free assembly and free speech in this country, and there are real consequences for people who step out. I felt them myself. Cancel culture is real, and in Portland, there's a lot of animosity politically around both far left and far right politics.
Well, Dan and Kevin, let me ask you, how much are you guys personally profiting from People for Portland? Dan, can you tell us what your salary is, how much you're making off of this?
Well, we're being paid. That is true. We don't work for free, but we're not disclosing, where we spend all our dollars. People can look and see what we can push back.
You can watch the rest of the interview tonight at 7 on Straight Talk.